Chairperson of the AIDC board, Ms. Melanie, and the Chief Executive Officer, who is, I'm not sure if he's present here today. We acknowledge you, and the GGDA Group Board Chairperson, Craig Cornish, representatives from government, our key stakeholders, the young people from various corridors of the Gauteng province. You are all welcomed, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. My name is Cindy Mike. I just made your job easier, Premier. You don't have to acknowledge all the protocols. Today is a very significant day, and please allow me to just reflect a little bit. My first experience learning how to drive. My father is a very proud mechanic. They call him Parapinki, and he's from Gauteng Springs, Lasdorp, Kasalamakasi. And you know, when you are called Bra so-and-so, that you are eminent in the community. In other words, you're probably the only family that has a vehicle. You're probably the only family that everybody calls for if they need a paramedic, because, you know, ambulances were not available. So he taught me how to drive. At the age of 16, I think I could have lost my life, because had it not been for the fact that, well, like, I suppose I am his child. He's the son that he never had. You know, I'm a deputy parent of 4 siblings, so I'm the oldest. So when Daddy taught me how to drive, it would always go something like this. Oh my goodness, there goes the clutch plate. Gearbox is finished. It's finished with me. Okay. And I realized the importance of why you had to look after a vehicle. Not only was it there for mobility or access, but it was also to give you independence. Before we learned how to drive, you had to learn how to wash the car. Your K53 or the equivalent of K53 today. To polish his tires, it had to be Kiwi black shoe polish. I don't know why. And you needed to know to at least loosen the bolts of the tire using your shoe. You see, I'm the son he never had. The radiator, where does the oil go? The water, and also not to rev the car for the love of Jesus, because that would be the end of him. So the automotive industry, ladies and gentlemen, is very significant. Not only that it moves logistics, goods and services, but it also opens up various careers, particularly for young people. It is an evolving industry, constantly changing, competitive, and South Africa finds itself particularly at the high echelons of that value chain, with the Gauteng province being key to that particular initiative. And we thank you, NEC and Premier, for your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome now for the opening remarks and a vote of support, I beg your pardon, Her Excellency, and that would be Ms. Kathy, or I beg your pardon, sorry, technology. Hey, screen is here, screen is here, so I just need to get back. Yeah, maybe I should ask you, one of these young people how to unlock this. I just need, please bear with me. Opening remarks will be done by none other than the chairperson of the board, and that is Ms. Melanie van Eyck. Please give her a hand.
I think I'm going to try and do a little bit better than Cindy with technology. Sometimes my eyes fail me, but technology doesn't, because I have youngsters that constantly remind us how to use these things. Good morning, Honorable Premier, MEC, and Deputy Mayor of Tshwane. We can't go about not acknowledging you, because we're in your backyard, literally. I'd like to thank the executives of the AIDC and the GGDA for putting this together. And then I'd also like to welcome our valued industry partners, representatives from organized business and the academia. Most importantly, I think the young people who have joined us here today. Good morning. It is my great privilege as the chairperson of the Automotive Center of the AIDC to welcome you truly in this defining moment of the evolution of Gauteng's automotive industry. Today, we officially want to relaunch the Gauteng Automotive Learning Center as a manufacturing center of excellence and an automotive learning academy. That's what we aspire to have, Premier. While this is certainly an unveiling of a transformed facility, I believe it represents something far greater. And that greatness is hope and opportunity for the communities that we serve here in Tshwane. It represents the unwavering belief that the future of our automotive industry will be built through people. I know there's a scary belief that AI will take over and people will not matter anymore. But everything has about industrialization, localization, and technology and economic growth must be one simple question. What future are we creating for the next generation? For decades, the automotive industry has transformed the lives and access of people across Gauteng. Communities such as Eersterus, Mamelodi, Soshanguve, Atteridgeville, and many others have stories to tell that are deeply intertwined with the automotive sector. I can say to myself, Premier and MEC and Deputy Mayor, when we started our inaugural engagement with young people, and you'll see the reason why we take it so seriously, is that as a young girl from Eersterus, a community in Tshwane, when I was in grade 10, nobody had ever told me anything about the automotive sector. But there was one significant thing that I knew, that every second household in Eersterus was employed by the automotive sector. And then we didn't call it the automotive sector. We knew that Auntie Rita works at Samca or they work at Ford, but it is something that really changed the lives of the communities that we grow up in. And I always say that when we spoke as the board and we said it's important for us to converge and bring young people into the fold of the automotive sector, is because we could not fathom that at a school in Eersterus, in grade 10, somebody tells you, go and study engineering, go and study this. In fact, you know, the stereotypical nuances towards our upbringing, and that's what shapes us as individuals, is that as a colored girl in Eersterus, the natural effect is that I'll probably end up in the bank or nearer in Samca or Ford, isn't it? So those are the things that we get taught. And we don't get taught with intention, but it is the natural effect of our upbringing that brings that forth for us. And when we discussed this, discussed the future of the automotive sector and our contribution as board members with our various backgrounds and skills in the in Gauteng economic development, we then said that it's important for us to then shape the future by bringing in kids from a very young age. I remember in Eersterus, there was a second school that was built, and it was meant to be a school of specialization, technical school, and it was meant to serve the people of Eersterus that are wanting to really grow in the technical aspect. I don't think any of those dreams have ever been fulfilled. And I thought, you know, with an opportunity and the responsibility that you get given, you must be able to then change the livelihoods of young people and the people that you come from as well. And hence, when we look at the rooms and we look at the communities that are represented, we took specifically young people from disadvantaged communities that we want to open their eyes and say, this is what the automotive sector is all about. When we had a session, Premier MEC, about the relaunch of the Automotive Learning Center in any event, the reconceptualization of what we want to achieve with a learning center in Gauteng, is that let's bridge that gap. You know, there's TVET colleges. If you look at the amount of kids that matriculate every year that doesn't have access to the to higher education through universities, TVET colleges, and learning environment, be it because of cost, be it because of access, because they don't have the requisite marks, that is something that sets us back in terms of unemployment. And if we look at young people and the unemployment rate that South Africa is sitting at this point, it then becomes something needs to be done. And we said, as the AIDC, with the relaunch of the Automotive Learning Center, we want skills that are specific to the sector. We want to train people that can be absorbed by the sector. If you look at all of the OEMs in Gauteng, primarily most of the OEMs, when they come and they set up an academy to teach people how to do things. Gauteng government must be central to that. It is an opportunity for us to bring in our people and to teach them and to train them and to learn. In the Automotive Learning Center, we are establishing a research desk where we want to keep ahead. We don't want to chase our tails as government. We want to keep ahead of the trends in the automotive sector, but we also want to be able to establish, a learning environment for young people to thrive. I always say, who would have thought that a young girl from Israel can stand in front of all of you, dignitaries, Ndimabe, the rest of the people, and speak about the automotive sector, and not speak about, my auntie works at Ford, maybe my brother is also going to get a job there, maybe I will also someday end up there. But really speak with intent and say that let's teach the young people, let's bring them in, let's tell them what it is all about. Let's tell them that, you can stop being just a worker for Ford, but you can be a service provider for Ford. You can create the bumpers for Ford because our incubation programs are allowing for that. I want people to aspire to that, MEC and Premier. And these are the things that really motivates us as a board to really do programs and really tailor our strategy over the term that we are engaged as the AIDC board and drive it in the direction to make meaningful changes and transform the industry in a manner that will be reflective of the communities that it surrounds. Thank you.
Oh, Cindy, you are launching me. I was not part of the program. At any rate, good morning, everyone. Honorable Premier, MEC, my friend who I lost. The chair, Melanie, thanks for the invitation. Even though you didn't invite me, I was going to come. Because I exploit this moment, because we struggle to get the premier sometimes. And when there's some of these events, I gossip with him, exchange the development, so it was going to happen. But perhaps let me share with you my relationship with this area. When it was given birth, we were the last students to graduate at Vista. And then there was fanfare about the launching of this area that will be accommodated, they will be trained, will be the beneficiaries. Unfortunately, none of us was a beneficiary. But I'm glad now we are relaunching and we'll make sure that our communities and our young people will be beneficiaries. We're going to guard this jealously, honestly speaking. And I want to say this, Premier, and I said it loosely, but it's important and it's close to my heart. This area have nuances with Gauteng. When you launched Gauteng, there were naysayers that it will fail, it don't happen. Today, Gauteng government have got an asset of billions that I can't say now because it looks like a lie. So if you look at what you are investing here and what the chair has said, it's something that gravitates me to be proud of this program, because the people who are manufacturing the bumper are not coming from the sky or heaven. They are people from here. And our young people qualifies to be part of that. So in the value chain, but you said you are going to get a developer. Premier and MEC, we cannot shy away from our responsibility. When they procure that developer in the equation must make sure it got understudy, not skills transfer, understudy. So that when they leave, we got somebody who can develop the same size in our country. Because we are tired of importing understanding from Europe. There was a gentleman who was given the responsibility to do the landscape of Mapua's Kloof and the likes. He was from Spain. He did something contrary to what we wanted to see. And now we lost the money in the process, like that road in Cape Town. You know the horrible road in Cape Town. So I'm saying, as a representative of Tshwane, Katie, I thought you would say you wrote the Gusheshe. I saw you. I thought you were talking about Gusheshe, but you practiced. Kathy is part of us, the PhD graduate. She understands what we want to achieve. Beyond our term in office, Premier, we want the city to live. And I'm glad, I don't know where you found that. When we came in, it's true, the finances were in shambles. Today we got the second year of a funded budget. It's historic. It's not a child's play. But No. Yeah. No. Yes, we are number one metro in the country of grants not being held. So, Premier, we want to be part of the program. We have got 30% in Tazes, and we pride ourselves with it. We don't want to see this happening under our watch and our nose without being part of the program. We want to be beneficiary and shareholding. That's critical and important, CEO. Please, whatever in your boardrooms you are saying, accommodate that aspect. But at any rate, thank you very much for accommodating me without preparing me, and I'm grateful to be part of this program. Thank you.
Program Director, the Honorable Premier of Gauteng Province, Mr. Panyaza Lesufi, the Honorable MEC of Economic Development, Agriculture and Rural Development, Ms. Vuyiswa Ramokgopa, the members of the AIDC board and the executive management, the Deputy Mayor of our beautiful city of Tshwane, and representatives of the government and academia, our valued stakeholders, and most importantly, the young people of Gauteng and the young people of South Africa. Good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as a proud partner of the AIDC and the second annual Youth Stakeholder Engagement. Today's event is far more than the opening of the facility. It is the declaration of an intent. It is a statement that Gauteng is ready to lead South Africa's automotive industry journey and to embrace the industries of the future and to place young people at the center of the economic transformation. On behalf of Volt High, I would like to commend the AIDC for its visionary leadership and for creating platforms that brings together government, industry, and young people to shape the future of manufacturing in our country. The AIDC has been a pillar of support in Volt High's journey and a strategic partner in our efforts to build South Africa's electric vehicle ecosystem and to develop the critical skills within the EV value chain, particularly electric vehicle charging infrastructure. Partnerships such as these are exactly what our country needs. No single institution can drive industrialization and economic transformation alone. We require collaborative partnerships that combine vision, expertise, investment, and innovation. As the world transitions towards cleaner and more sustainable transport solutions, South Africa stands at a critical crossroads. The question before us is not whether electric mobility revolution is coming. The question is whether South Africa will participate merely as a consumer of imported technologies or whether we'll become producers, innovators, exporters of technology developed on our soil. As Volt High, we have made a choice. We believe that South Africa must build local capabilities, develop local skills, create local jobs, and manufacture technologies that can compete globally. The EV value chain presents opportunities in manufacturing and assembly, engineering and technology development, battery systems, charging infrastructure, renewable energy integration, maintenance and technical services, software and digital innovation. Most importantly, it presents an opportunity to create thousands of jobs for young people. The Manufacturing Center of Excellence being launched today can become an engine for developing the skills that will power South Africa's future economy. To our young people gathered here today, I would like to say this. The industries of the future are already here. The green economy is no longer a concept of tomorrow. The electric mobility is not a distant possibility. It's happening now. And you're supposed to be part of that now and take South Africa's future together with us. The opportunities are real and they belong to those who prepare themselves today, acquire the skills, embrace innovation, be courageous enough to build businesses and create solutions that can transform our country. And I hope and wish that this was supposed to happen in June so that when we talk about the youth of South Africa, we put it together with the Youth Month. South Africa needs your ideas, your energy, and your leadership. As we celebrate this important milestone, we also wish to make a respectful appeal to the government. Honorable Premier and Honorable MEC, the successful transition towards the electric mobility requires infrastructure. We therefore call for strategic partnership between government and the private sector to facilitate access to land, strategic site for the rollout of the electric vehicle charging infrastructure across South Africa, the provision of strategic land along the national corridors, in cities, at transport nodes, and in high traffic areas will accelerate investment, support industrialization, create jobs, and contribute significantly into the economic development. The rollout of the EV charging infrastructure should be viewed as a strategic national development initiative that can position South Africa as a leader in green mobility and sustainable transportation. It can contribute meaningfully towards reducing carbon emission, strengthening energy security, and advancing the objectives of the just energy transition. As Vault High Technology, we affirm our commitment to partnering with government, the AIDC, the Innovation Hub, industry, and academia to build a thriving electric mobility ecosystem that benefit all South Africans. Together, we can create industries that did not exist before. Together, we can create jobs that will sustain future generations. Together, we can build a global competitive manufacturing sector. Together, we can develop the skills that will power South Africa's green economy and position our country as a leader in advanced manufacturing and electric mobility on the African continent. And together, we can ensure that Gauteng becomes the home of the innovation, advanced manufacturing, and green industrialization in Africa. As we launch this Center of Excellence and engage with our young people today, let us remember that future will not wait for us. The country that invests in innovation, skills, and green technology today will be the economy leaders of tomorrow. South Africa has the talent. South Africa has the ingenuity, and South Africa has the entrepreneurial spirit. What we need is a bold collaboration, strategic investment, and the collective courage to build industries that will transform our economy and create opportunities for our people. Therefore, let us build a Gauteng that does not merely consume technologies of the future, but one that designs, one that manufactures, and one that exports to the world. Let us build a Gauteng that becomes the center of excellence for electric mobility, green industrialization, and advanced manufacturing in South Africa. Let us build South Africa where our young people not merely seek jobs, but are creating businesses, developing technologies, and leading industries of the future. Congratulations once again to the AIDC and on this historic milestone, and thank you for your continued partnership and commitment to developing South Africa's automotive and the manufacturing future. And with those words, I would like to present a DC fast charger, which is 120 kilowatts. It's a double gun, meaning it can charge two cars at the same time. And why do we say that it's a fast charger? It's because it depends on the capacity of the battery. It can charge the motor vehicle between 10 and 20 minutes.
Thank you, Program Director. I hope I'm audible at the back. Lankuka. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Program Director. And let me begin, Mekathy, by thanking you for just raising the energy levels in here and showing us what is possible and what we can do as Gauteng, as South Africa, and as the local manufacturing sector. Honorable Premier, it is indeed an honor to share this moment with you. Let me also recognize the chairperson and members of the AIDC board, the executive management, CEO of AIDC, Group CEO of GGDA, and of course, the real stars of today is all of the learners and all of the young people who are present today. Because everything we are doing today is an investment into your future and ultimately into yourselves. I'm very fortunate today that Premier is here, so I don't have to do the heavy lifting of a keynote address. I can just and give you a sense of what we are trying to achieve in the Gauteng province. We have a plan in Gauteng. It is called the Gauteng City Region Economic Growth and Development Plan. This is our guiding document. It is our North Star as far as the plans for how we intend to grow the Gauteng economy, how we intend to create jobs, and how we intend to ensure that we take our rightful place and maintain our rightful place as the leading economy in South Africa. It's a very ambitious plan, and we are proud of that ambition because it is the very ambition of people 15, 20 years ago who decided that Tshwane and Gauteng needs to be a leading manufacturing destination. That is why we are here today. So we also need to set our ambitions. And we have targeted to create 500,000 jobs within the medium term through the implementation of the GCR Economic Growth Plan. And the plan sketches out 12 key sectors, of which the automotive sector is a key part of that plan. It also speaks to the spatial distribution and which are the key regions and what are those key regions really going to focus on and be known for. And of course, Tshwane has been earmarked as the leading region for the automotive sector, as well as the downstream manufacturing that then plugs into the automotive sector, the component parts, and all other such related industries. So we are not here to simply unveil a new project or a new facility. This is part and parcel of how we are practically implementing this plan and the steps we are taking to meaningfully execute and realize our vision for Gauteng and particularly for the manufacturing sector. And just for context for some of you, the manufacturing sector is key. It contributes just north of 5% of South Africa's GDP, and Gauteng is in a similar region. Now, the sector also is responsible for employment, wherein we employ directly more than 113,000 people in manufacturing and support close to 500,000 jobs across various other related sectors. So it is key to how we resolve the challenges of unemployment and particularly youth unemployment. But what is key to today, honorable leaders of this government and Deputy Mayor, particularly for yourself, I know Tshwane itself has some very ambitious goals, and you've targeted 80,000 jobs as per your Tshwane economic growth plan. What is key to ensuring that we achieve those goals is to ensure that we invest proactively in the right skills. A skilled workforce and a skilled population is the petrol that is going to power our future economy. And it's not just about training for the sake of training, because it is true, there's a lot of training that happens out there. But we need to make sure that the training that we are investing in is translating into actual job opportunities. We need fit for purpose skills. And we need to ensure that at all levels of the skills base, South Africa is well capacitated and able to participate. So whether you are an engineer and you have a master's in engineering, or you are practical and in the artisanal skill space, we need to make sure that we invest in technical skills that are going to power our manufacturing economy. And South Africa does have a growing skills challenge, unfortunately. but it's something we're addressing. The National Development Plan indicates and estimates that the country would have required at least 30,000 qualified artisans every year by 2030 for us to achieve our goals. Now, we are falling far short of those targets, but we are slowly getting there. And the Gauteng Automotive Learning Center has been a big and instrumental part of that journey, having already trained close to 25,000 learners in the technical and artisanal skills required for the automotive sector. Now, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag because we are going to speak about the Manufacturing Center of Excellence. But this transition from the Gauteng Automotive Learning Sector to the Manufacturing Center of Excellence is also really key, because it says we are not simply looking at the artisanal skills for now, that is necessary, but we are building an institution that is going to be technologically innovative, it's going to be a leader in technology, and it is going to be able to power a number of other industries. And the center was designed as a response to some of those industry needs. And some of the key industries that will also benefit from the Center of Excellence include practical skills such as 3D printing. You know, these days you can even print a house, that 3D printing. I've seen it. Now, we have massive challenges in terms of our housing challenge, but we are still busy building with brick and mortar or trying to build these mega developments that sometimes take long. Now, if we can invest in those 3D printing skills through institutions like this, we could get closer to achieving some of those targets. We also, through the Center of Excellence, will be able to see an investment in EV high voltage simulator training. The principles of welding, and welding is key. Hydraulics, pneumatics, and of course, looking also forward at other incoming industries such as AI and robotics. And I think, as MEC had said, those are not industries of the future. They are here now. And if we are going to take our rightful place in the global manufacturing economy, we have to make those necessary investments today. Now, briefly, it's important to state it and state it clearly that although Gauteng and South Africa has done well to position ourselves as an automotive manufacturing hub on the African continent, we must not allow ourselves to become complacent. We are operating in a highly competitive global economy where every cent counts, and efficiency becomes a key driver of how we are then able to position ourselves on that global stage. And efficiency is partly, yes, about cost efficiency, but it is indeed also in terms of the productivity of our skills base and our skills force. And therefore, the investments we are making into training and upskilling our skills force are a key component of how we continue to position South Africa on the global stage and as a leading destination for the global manufacturing economy. So, Premier, today is really about realizing that vision that you have for this province. I know how passionate you are and how you speak about education, and you hold us accountable to that. And this is about taking that education investment to the next level. It's about investing in the skills of the future. It's about ensuring that we are able to take our place on the African continent as a leading manufacturing destination. And that more importantly and most importantly, we are able to capacitate and skill our young people so that we can deal decisively with the unemployment crisis that we face in our province. And today gives me a lot of hope. Aibo, we are being listened to here. One day, maybe we should be manufacturing those devices as well. Can we also aspire to such? Not just be consumers of mobile phones, but also manufacturers of them. So I'd like to thank you all for making the time to be here today and acknowledging this moment. And it's important to acknowledge it in the fullness of what we are trying to achieve as the Gauteng province and recommitting that we are committed, Premier, to fulfilling the objectives as set out in that GCR economic growth plan, and this is but one of the many steps that we are taking. We are a government at work, we are a government in motion, and we certainly are a government that cares and wants to see a growing and inclusive economy. We thank you.
Ramokgopa. Let me also acknowledge the program director, the deputy executive mayor of Tshwane, the chair of the board. Thank you so much, Chair, and your team for inviting us. And our strategic partners, thank you for the donation. And the students that are coming from our schools. To me, these are my important guests. Thank you so much for coming, especially during this period. I really, really appreciate that. Honored guests that are here. If you have heard this before, my apologies. Because that's what drives me. Stone Age didn't end because that generation ran out of stones. Stone Age ended because new ideas were planted. If we can't plant new ideas, we'll not develop the country. And let me tell you, if you can't get the skills of a country right, you'll never get the economy right. And if you don't get the economy right, you'll never get the country right. I don't mind other things, but I mind and fear to lead an institution that does not observe and appreciate the importance of innovation. I fear to lead an institution that does not appreciate technology. I fear to lead a province or a government that does not embrace artificial intelligence. If we can't move with times, times will move ahead of us. Maybe let's accept, me and you, the train has moved, but the train has not moved on this young one. If you can't prepare them, we'll never prepare the future. If we can't mold them, we'll never have a sustainable economy. If you can't make them to be at the center of the future, we'll never embrace that future. Maybe I'm the only one, but I don't mind. I hate a chalk with a passion. I hate a duster with a passion. I hate the old chalkboard with a passion. Because the future that we are going, there must be no chalk, there must be no chalkboard, there must be no duster, there must be no hard textbook, there must be technology that must assist our children. And if you can't move them towards that direction, whatever that you are launching today, whatever that you are doing, will find people that are not ready. So our investment should be in the classroom. Our investment should be in the skills development arena. Our investment should be at learning centers. When we introduced schools of specialization, people thought we were playing games. When we said each and every corridor for our economy must have a school that specializes on the economy of that corridor, people thought we were smoking our socks. When we said we'll identify the sectors that will create future jobs, people thought that we are lost. Because those that hate us believe that after 1994 we've not built anything but we've destroyed everything. Which they go to such an extent that we are renaming what they've built. The only thing that we enjoy is to rename them. But I want to declare to you, today we are sending a bold message to everyone that is in the automotive industry. Bring it on. We are ready for you. Bring it on. We are protecting the industry. And the last two events that happened in this province, many people have not acknowledged them, but they will acknowledge them in the future. When we brought cherry in this province, no one expected that will score. Because there is PE, there is Cape Town, but in reality, there is Gauteng. And that's how we brought cherry here. And that's how the next generation of cars will be produced a stone throw where we are. A month ago, we launched a multi-billion BMW tech call center in this CBD executive manner. Every BMW across the globe. It can be in the now beautiful Argentina of Lionel Messi. That BMW can be in England, it can be in Portugal. Every BMW's technology has been tracked here in Gauteng. Everywhere where it is, on a 24-hour basis. We attracted that investment. We went for it. And 4,500 young people are employed in that tech, 24 hours, 7 days a day, a week, to assist all cars across the globe from here in Gauteng. That's the future that we want for our province. I'm excited that the MEC just explained our economic plan. We are going for the Jaguar. We are going for the future. But we want skills to be at the center of that development. We are now the only province who are not on Master Skills Plan 1. We are not on Master Skills Plan 2. We are not on Master Skills Plan 3. We are on Master Skills Plan 4, where no other province even have one Master Skills Plan 1. We don't want our children in our schools to use a brick to play and say, voo, 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 there's a car. No, no, no. We've now rationalized and we are proud. All the ECD centers where our children were only coming in the morning, eating soft porridge, sleeping, and then being washed and being taken over by their parents. Those days are over in our prayer. We've integrated all our ECD. We've given them the curriculum. We are giving them their teachers training. The majority of all those ECD teachers now are qualified not as ECD teachers, but as teachers that can teach grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, so that those children get the proper teachers that can take them to the next generation. And this is the future that we believe factories require. This is the future that we believe technology will require. This is the future that we believe innovation will require. You go to the Tabong School of Specialization. Are they here, my kids? If you can stand up. Just stand up, kids that are coming from the Tabong. These kids, I challenge you to go to their school and check what they've done ever since. You can sit down. Ever since we've declared them a school of specialization. There's another one called Soshanguve School of Specialization. I'm not sure if they're here. They've not only won local competition, they've not only won national competition, they've won international competitions on the basis of the new curriculum that we've planted in their school. And I want to thank major companies that have shared this vision. They've not shared this vision with us, but they've propelled these young people to opportunities that they will appreciate. My kids, I still dream of that toilet seat. That when you sit on that toilet seat, it asks you for your WhatsApp number. I still dream about that toilet seat. When you sit on that seat, it asks you your doctor's WhatsApp number. After you have delivered whatever you delivered on that WhatsApp, it analyzes and it sends a message to your doctor and say, dear doctor, I can see the resemblance of cancer treated now before it becomes out. That's the future of Gauteng that we want. And that's the future of classroom that we want. I dream, MEC, that gone are the days where our surgeons must spend lots and lots of time in surgery rooms. When AI can treat our patients every day, 24 hours, and be precise and resolve all our surgery backlogs that we have in our hospitals. That's the future we want for our program. But you don't do that if you don't invest in skills development. And I want to thank you, AIDC, for inviting us to say we are protecting this industry, that we are putting capable resolutions and solutions to the industry. We are building a world-class infrastructure. We are bringing strategic partners, but most importantly, we are growing a pipeline of skilled talent. Because you do so, this relaunch of the Gauteng Automotive Learning Center, it's much more than buildings, equipment, or technology, but it's the future of our young people. And those that have been selected to be part of this program, you are not only lucky, but you are the pathfinders that will make our people to know that gone are the days that will rely on other people that are coming from other countries. We can do these things on our own. We can grow this economy on our own, and we can have future innovators. We can have artisans. We can have engineers, and we can have entrepreneurs that will propel this industry. 2 weeks ago, together with Microsoft, we finalized a new generation of young people that are going to develop apps for Gauteng. I don't want people filling forms at our hospitals, at our schools. The days of forms are over. We need just to have one information about you. It populates, it assists us to move forward. And these young people are so committed to develop programs that will ensure that service delivery is easy in our program. But you can't do this, Executive Mayor, when people still have to go through potholes. You can't do this, and no one will believe us when people still worry about load reduction. You can't do all these things when people still have to wait for long queues at our services. It's small things that we must improve, that must assist us. And that is why I'm saying you can't have young people that are unemployed, but they have a problem of potholes. Train them on how to fill the potholes and give them money, Executive Mayor, so that you don't have this kind of problem. And we are proud that we are now turning all our technical schools in all our province, in all our schools in our province, 124 of them. And I said to the leadership of AIDC that I want to take all the technical schools that are in Tshwane and put this technology in our schools. Because this is where we need to sort out all this problem. I'm very impatient, you know, Executive Mayor. I'm very impatient that when other countries are competing on many important things, we still can't offer a reliable energy in each and every house. It's an embarrassment that we can't even cut grass. We can't just do basic things. Because you can plan the future. If you can't do the basics, that future is meaningless. And no one will believe you. But if you don't believe me, this one you must believe me. From the next 4 years, MEC, you agree with me? From the next 4 years, at least say the next 6 years, there will be a speed train that will move from here in 67 minutes and take you to Limpopo. So that Banababo Ma, if they want to see Ma, if they want to see Bomma in the morning and come to a gala dinner and send in the evening, they can do this with ease. But that future is meaningless if what we are launching today can't happen. These are the children that must build those trains. These are the children that must drive those trains. These are the children that must give us the signal of that particular train. But today, I'm proud to relaunch this manufacturing and training hub, not only for AIDC, but to send a strong message to all other provinces. We have arrived. Catch us if you can. Thank you so much.